Deep in the volcanic highlands of West Java, Indonesia, there sits a hill that shouldn't exist. To the locals, it is a sacred place. They call it Gunung Padang, the Mountain of Light. For over a century, Dutch colonists and modern archaeologists looked at this site and saw the same thing: a natural volcanic hill, perhaps topped with a few megalithic stones arranged by simple farmers a couple of thousand years ago. Just a graveyard, just a terrace for worship, nothing to rewrite the history books. They were wrong. In the last decade, a team of geologists and scientists decided to look beneath the soil. What they found has sent shockwaves through the scientific community and enraged the guardians of mainstream history. They didn't find a natural hill. They found layers, artificial layers. According to radiocarbon dating, the deepest foundations of this structure could be up to 25,000 years old. Let that sink in. The Great Pyramid of Giza is 4,500 years old. Stonehenge is 5,000 years old. If the data from Gunung Padang is correct, then this structure predates the pyramids, predates Mesopotamia, and predates the last ice age. It was built when humans were supposedly just hunter-gatherers living in caves, incapable of stacking massive stones. If this is truly a pyramid, it is the oldest pyramid on Earth, and implies that an advanced civilization existed right here in Southeast Asia, thousands of years before history says civilization began. Is it a mistake? Is it a geological freak of nature? Or have we just found the smoking gun of a lost chapter in human history? Today, we are digging deep into the controversy of Gunung Padang. To understand the mystery, we have to understand the man who cracked it open. Enter Dr. Danny Hillman Natawidjaya. He isn't a treasure hunter or a conspiracy theorist. He is one of Indonesia's leading geologists, an expert in earthquake zones. In 2011, Dr. Hillman was studying the active faults in West Java to protect the population from earthquakes. He wasn't looking for a pyramid, he was looking for bedrock. But as he analyzed the topography of Gunung Padang, something didn't add up. In nature, erosion is chaotic, hills are messy, but Gunung Padang has a distinct, defined shape. It faces the cardinal points, and more importantly, the radar scans showed that the hill wasn't solid rock, it had skin. Curiosity turned into obsession. Hillman and his team began a comprehensive survey using technologies usually reserved for oil exploration: electrical resistivity, ground-penetrating radar, and core drilling. They drilled down 30 meters, then 50 meters. What they pulled up from the darkness was impossible. They found distinct layers of construction. Layer 1, the surface site, dating back to around 2000 to 500 BC. This was the megalithic site archaeologists already knew about. But underneath that, separated by a layer of soil, was Layer 2. Layer 2 wasn't just dirt, it was an arrangement of columnar basalt rocks, organized in a matrix, and organic material trapped between these rocks yielded a carbon date of around 7,000 to 9,000 years ago. That already makes it older than the pyramids. But they kept drilling, down to Layer 3, located 15 meters below the surface. Here the rocks were massive, and the carbon dating results were staggering. The organic material found here dated back between 16,000 and 25,000 years ago. 25,000 years ago. This puts the construction of Gunung Padang deep into the Paleolithic era. This is a time when Europe was covered in ice sheets, a time when, according to mainstream scholars, humans were nomadic, using stone tools, and certainly not building massive, multi-tiered pyramids that required engineering, logistics, and a massive workforce. Skeptics immediately attacked. They said, "Hold on, this is a volcanic region. Volcanoes create columnar jointing naturally. Look at the Giant's Causeway in Ireland, or Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Nature makes geometric shapes all the time. Dr. Hillman is just seeing patterns in a dead volcano." It is a valid argument, Magma cools, contracts, and cracks into hexagonal columns. It happens naturally. But Dr. Hillman argues that Gunung Padang is different. In nature, these columns stand vertically, pointing straight up like a bundle of pencils. At Gunung Padang, the columns are laid horizontally. They are stacked like bricks. They form retaining walls. They are used to create terraces. Furthermore, the microscopic analysis shows evidence of mortar, a glue-like substance found between the stones. This mortar is a mix of clay, iron, and silica. It implies intention. You don't get mortar in a natural volcano. Someone mixed this. Someone placed these stones. Someone engineered this hill to withstand landslides and earthquakes for millennia. But the most compelling evidence isn't the rocks. It's the empty space. Seismic tomography works like a CT scan for the Earth. When Hillman's team scanned the heart of the structure, they found anomalies. High resistivity areas that suggest solid rock, and low resistivity areas that suggest void. The data suggests the existence of massive underground chambers, not small caves, but large, rectangular voids. One of them is potentially 10 meters high and 15 meters wide. A great hall, buried deep beneath the surface, untouched for thousands of years. What is inside? Is it a tomb, a library, a temple, or simply a natural lava tube that the ancients utilized? We don't know, because the excavation was halted, and this is where the story turns from science to politics. When Dr. Hillman presented his findings to the president of Indonesia in 2012, it was hailed as a point of national pride. But the academic backlash was swift and brutal. 34 leading Indonesian archaeologists and geologists signed a petition to stop the excavation. They accused the team of destroying a heritage site to chase a fantasy. They called the theory pseudo-archaeology. They argued that a civilization capable of this simply did not exist in Java 20,000 years ago. Where is their pottery? Where are their villages? Where are their bones? This conflict went global when Graham Hancock featured Gunung Padang as the first episode of his controversial Netflix series, Ancient Apocalypse. Hancock argues that Gunung Padang is the ultimate proof of a lost advanced civilization, one that was wiped out by a cataclysm at the end of the Ice Age. For mainstream academia, Gunung Padang is a dangerous distraction, a misuse of science to support a myth. For the proponents, the reaction looks like fear. Fear that the timeline of human history, which professors have taught for decades, might be fundamentally broken. Why are they so afraid of digging? If it's just a natural hill, a few weeks of excavation would prove Dr. Hillman wrong once and for all. Why stop the drills? Why ban the research? Unless they are afraid of what they might find. To understand how a civilization could exist here 20,000 years ago, we have to look at the map. Not the map of today, but the map of the past. During the last ice age, sea levels were over 100 meters lower than they are now. The islands of Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines were connected to mainland Asia, forming a massive continent known as Sundaland. It was a tropical paradise, twice the size of India. While Europe was freezing under ice, Sundaland was warm, fertile, and full of life. If an advanced civilization existed in the Ice Age, Sundaland is exactly where they would be. It was the perfect incubator for human society. But around 12,000 years ago, the ice melted. The Younger Dryas event caused sea levels to rise rapidly. Sundaland was drowned. Millions of square kilometers of land vanished beneath the waves, turning a continent into an archipelago. The survivors would have fled to the highlands, to places like Gunung Padang. Is Gunung Padang a monument built by refugees? A time capsule designed to preserve the knowledge of a drowning world? Or perhaps it was built before the flood, a sacred mountain that stood watch over a civilization that is now mostly underwater. We have seen this before. At Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, we found massive stone circles dated to 11,000 years ago, thousands of years before agriculture. That discovery proved that our timeline is wrong. Hunter-gatherers could build megastructures. If Göbekli Tepe exists, why is Gunung Padang impossible?
As of today, the excavation at Gunung Padang is in a state of limbo. The site is quiet. The drills are silent. The mystery remains buried under meters of dirt and politics. Dr. Hillman and his team have published their findings in peer-reviewed journals, fighting to legitimize their data. They aren't asking you to believe in aliens or magic. They are asking for something simple: the permission to keep digging. History is not set in stone. It is a puzzle that we are still piecing together. If Gunung Padang is truly 25,000 years old, it means the story of humanity is far older, far more complex, and far more tragic than we ever imagined. It means we are a species with amnesia, living on the ruins of a forgotten past. The chambers are down there. The answers are down there. We have the technology to reach them. The only question is, are we ready for the truth? What do you think? Is Gunung Padang just a volcano playing tricks on us? Or is it the smoking gun of the ancient world? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see another impossible site that defies explanation, click this video right here.